Okay. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. You've heard it here first. The new NVIDIA driver is trash. It is so bad. I don't even know what happened. That's a really bad driver. Okay, give me one quick second here. Let me maximize this to make sure I can see. And let me let this go down a little bit here. Make sure I can see the entirety of the chat. And let me check a few things and we can get going. Today's going to be a very interesting day. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. So let me just do one more quick thing and we can get popping here. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. All right, bet. Hi, how you doing? How you be? Talk to the AB. I hope everybody had a good day at work or not, or school or college or whatever you're currently doing. My name is Anthony, or the Open Forum. We don't actually play video games on this channel. Instead, we actually troubleshoot gaming issues and any kind of technical issues or PC issues that people may have, networking issues, Switch issues, PS5 issues, Xbox issues, you name it, we troubleshoot it. So yeah, without further ado, oh my goodness. So I updated my driver, my graphics driver for some reason. That was a horrible idea because now it's like, what do you mean I can't have like 3 remote desktop sessions and OBS and Photoshop running at the same time? But it's not blue screening me. It's just like it'll freeze. So it's a bad driver. I'll probably downgrade back to a different driver, but I'll let it go. I'll let it go because if I think about it, I'm just going to get angry. I should have known better not to try to do that right before a stream too. I was afraid that it was going to kill this right here, which is the worst thing because you got your whole day planned out, like everything planned out. And if I lose it, it's going to be horrible because it's like it's not saved. There's no refresh, there's no history, there's no nothing. But today is an interesting day because today is State of Play for the PS5. They released a few games or a few trailers for games. We're basically going to watch them as if it was a popcorn night and see exactly which games are good and which games look like trash. So without further ado, man, let's get it popping. Alrighty, here, let's go to the first one here. I already got rid of the ads, so that should help out everybody here. Okay. Did I break this? Oh, God. My GPU hates me. Yeah, it even froze him. Oh, man. I am not refreshing these. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's going to make me refresh them. Wow. I didn't refresh them, removed all the ads and everything. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, Anthony. This is sad. This is sad. I hate this new driver. It is so bad. What you mean you want to use your 4090 for watching content? You don't need to do that. Oh, God. Okay. So we let this one play, and then this one is almost done. Nope, still running. And I can't even get past this ad. It's just, you can't even skip it. Okay, that's a little weird, but all right. Come on now, any day now. Oh my God, I hate IGN so much. Okay. Okay. All right, the other ones don't look like they're even trying to start playing. All right. What is it? Okay. You know what? We'll come back to those when we get ready. We'll just start with this one because this is driving me crazy. That's pretty cool. Oh, this look kind of clean. Bow for what? You did 43 damage. What's there to be afraid of? That octopus head was kind of interesting. I like it. It looks like it's going to be a game that's going to take at least 100 hours of your life. So that's always a good thing. Okay, no. Okay, let's finish this. Come on now. Yes, we got it. Let's do this. That was Baldur's Gate. This is Resident Evil. She has great teeth. She don't want to be saved. Yo, this looks great. Yo, that's actually like look kind of clean for release. That was pretty clean. I'd give him that. That was pretty sweet. Resident Evil though, there's always been pretty good when making trailers. Okay, next up is Destiny 2. Oh no, come back. There we go. She's still alive? Hmm. Titan. I like his hat. Yo, that was clean. That was clean. Pre-order February 28th. Instant unlock pre-order bonus Quicksilver Storm. I may have to buy that one. That looked clean. I may come back to Destiny after a while. It's been a while since I played, but that looked clean. Of all the ones we've seen so far, that one, okay, Baldur's Gate was really good too. Resident Evil 4, I mean, is Resident Evil, but this next one here is called The Foglands. Oh God. Okay. Well, while that's running, let's see. Let's just go ahead and some multitasking. Wi-Fi disconnects while downloading at high speed. Okay, well, what happens if you plug your laptop directly into your router? Does your speed stay stable? Also, is your router owned by you, or does it belong to your internet service provider? Sadly, I cannot plug it in directly now, and router is not owned by me. There are other people using it, and only I have this issue. Okay, so it's just him, but he can't plug in directly, but he's using the Wi-Fi feature. So we'll get back to him here in 1 second here. It should be done by now. The Foglands is what we're on, right? This is VR, so give it a sec. Please let it be Gwent. That music don't go with this. Coming in 2023, The Foglands. It's interesting, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know. That was kind of meh. Okay, Wi-Fi, and then we'll come back. Let's let this commercial pass through because we got to refresh it, right? Oh no, we didn't have to Okay, so this one's ready, but let's help this dude real quick. All of a sudden it started disconnecting while downloading faster than 5 megabits per second. Even if it goes to 6 or 7, it disconnects after a while. It sucks not being able to get the full potential of my internet that I pay for. Okay, so with this one here, what we want to say is because he cannot hook up directly and he's only on Wi-Fi and he's the only one that's having the issue, get closer. So for this one, then could you get closer to the router with your laptop and see if the connectivity improves? Run several tests, including speed tests. And you were playing a game, weren't you? Including speed test, just to be sure. Speed test and online games, just to be sure. If it's at a main office, just stand outside. Well, he can probably figure that part out. I'm gonna have to be that literal, but essentially what you want to do on this one here is get closer because he's the only person that has the issue and it's Wi-Fi and he can't go wired. So he can't go wire, which means he probably can't go Ethernet over power, but I would imagine if he tells them that he's having some Wi-Fi issues, they may allow him to run Ethernet power directly from the router to his home if they're using the same power supplies or the same power circuit. So that's a possibility, but more than likely it's just a range or metal or something that's in the way. It sounds like his signal is just weak. This happens a lot, especially in like hotels. Or even apartment complexes, to be honest. But that's him. But that's not a whole lot more to say on that one here. We'll see what he says, but let's go ahead and go to the next one here. I think it was this one. Yeah. Green heck. Let's do it. It's another VR game? I'm at work. I don't know about that one. I don't know. It's kind of hard for people. Oh no, we already talked about that one. It's kind of hard for me to get into games like that are like that. That's VR, but the tiger, what is it, tiger or Kruger? It looked exactly like a tiger. So it looked like if you saw one on TV that was drawn with animation. It doesn't really look like an actual tiger, you know. It's just kind of I don't know. It kind of makes me lose. Like if I was in a VR headset, I would probably not flinch or probably not think anything of it. It'll just be kind of an iffy one. Oh, this guy here trying to enable the dual stack on Fritzbox. It appears that he may be okay. So I think the name may be what's holding us up. Dual stack typically means you're running IPv4 and IPv6 on the same interface, but it's possible that they also mean NAT 4 to 6, meaning it's taking your IPv4 and adding into IPv6 address. Is that what's happening here? So I actually managed to make my ISP switch me back. The thing is, I'm a noob with network stuff, by the way, so take it with a big grain of salt. With DS Lite, you will share an IPv4 with a bunch of other users from your ISP. That is a dynamic a public IP address, and it goes to a pool. But that's normal behavior for internet service providers with cable companies, rather than having your own unique IPv4 address or IPv6 address. So he's talking about static versus dynamic. That has nothing to do with DS Lite or just DS in general, which is dual stacking. I only asked because I read online that with some Fritzbox routers, you can set this up yourself, but it seems like I couldn't do that. And not only my ISP could make missing settings, new firmware, block my ISP maybe. Not 100% sure why it's not possible anymore, at least not for me. Yeah, you can't do that because we're talking about a public IP address that they give you. They'll give you whatever they want unless you actually specifically ask for a public IP address. It appears that they changed you from a they changed you from a static to a dynamic, and it's a dynamic pool. Thank you regardless for your help. I really appreciate it. No problem, bro. We take assist trophies here. This is like an assist trophy / W, but either way we take it. We got to help, you know. So yeah, with this one here, it appears that he was actually referring to a static IP address that he originally had, and they moved him to a dynamic. But generally, if they switch you back to a static IP address, that usually means there's a charge associated with it. So it's kind of an interesting one. Yeah, and it's not IPv4 or IPv6. It's just a static versus a dynamic IP address. And it appears that that's what happened with him, but there's no point in replying because the ticket is closed. So that's what's going on with that guy. We'll come back and go to the next one here. What's the next guy? I think we already did Chia. Did we already do this? Yeah, we did. Green. Yes, we did. Yes, we did the green thingy, and we did the Chia. Did we do Chia? I feel like we did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we did. All right, let's just go to Naruto because it's Naruto. Oh, God. No more Kirby. Okay. I salute you, my unbeaten 1070, my 70-year-old GTX 1070, me being able to enjoy Atomic Heart at 100 plus FPS at medium-high settings. I feel this man's appreciation. The 1080 Ti, the 1080, the 1070, man, those cards to this day NVIDIA has had the worst time getting those out of the lineup. The 20 series was trash. Like, it was not even worth it to switch and go up to a 20 series if you had like a 1070, 1080, 1080 Ti, 1090, so on and so forth. It wasn't. The 1070, even to this day, can still run those games. And that's a 7-year-old card, apparently. So yeah, I definitely feel that it definitely deserves a Congressional Medal of Honor. And right next to that Zotac 1080 Ti Mini, such a good card. Such a good card. I agree with you, sir. And I don't have any funny quips because this is as funny as it gets. I've never seen the original picture, and that looks so weird. Okay. Most surprising part is he is in a meme that is not related to a boss. Apparently, the GTX 1070 is a pretty boss card, though. It is. It is. I don't even know what to say to that. Just congrats. Congrats. But yeah, those 10 series cards, they're still in like, you could still get a pretty good penny off of them too. If you have like a 1080 Ti that's actually working, you can probably still sell it for some money, even though it's a 7-year-old card. Okay, Naruto, you ready? Yes, you are. Naruto and Sasuke been feuding and going against each other, being best friends for 20 years. Oh, God. He never said that. Sand coffin. I didn't see Boruto once. Oh, the true Hokage. What was it? It was the something, the 9 paths or whatever. Yeah, I mean, how many times can you remake Naruto? I feel like it's right there with Dragon Ball Z. It's like, there's so many Tenkaichis and fighting and Naruto Ninja Storm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just like, yeah, it's just the exact same property over and over and over again. But I mean, it still looks dope. I mean, hey, you see my guy, you automatically are like, yes. Okay, so this is Wayfinder. And it has a bunch of commercials. Yay, again. Okay, is it on? Yes, it is. Let's go back. Alrighty, so this one's Wayfinder. Ooh. Oh, it's a tank. Oh no. Please don't let it be money related. I'd sign up. That looks pretty cool. Oh my God, what is everything in February? So February 28th is a sign up to play the beta on Wayfinder for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. It looks like a Holy Trinity. I didn't see a healer though, but I'm starting to wonder if it's kind of a Holy Trinity kind of thing. But I mean, it looks like a pretty interesting game. Okay, and the last one here is Suicide Squad. Okay, of all things. Probably shouldn't say that name ever again. I just thought about that. It's probably a horrible idea. I like the shark. He's pretty dope. Yo, that's kind of clean. Dude, if he slings a boomerang, I'm losing it. Shoot the big purple thing. Got it. And another purple thing. Okay, that's what we're doing today. Really like purple. Mm, okay, this is 1080p. That was clean. Okay, that was also clean. He needs a shotgun. This is crazy. Yo, you know Spider-Man, right? What if it was villains? How long is this? Good God. You don't want that. You don't want that, bro. I'm telling you. This man can speed through time. Yo, that was clean. I'm not even gonna lie. That was clean. That was clean. I give you that. I give you that. That was clean. Yo, that was clean. That was like that what was it? Avengers Among Us or Enemies Among Us or something with Among Us. And basically what happens if like Superman turned evil and you had to fight against Superman and all that kind of stuff. That was Enemies Among Us or something like that. But yeah, that is Injustice. Enemies Among Us. It's something like that. But that's exactly what that reminds me of. That is like part 2. All right, cool. That was actually pretty sweet. All right, let's get to helping people. I think we were here. Okay, let's get to work. Enough of looking at cool setups. Let's get it going here. So end of February, there are like 100 games coming out during then. I don't think there's one today. I haven't checked my calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's not one today, but we'll be sure to be there in case anybody has issues. All right, let's get it popping. Hogwarts Legacy or Last of Us Part 1. Okay, I remember this. This was like yesterday. He was asking us the difference. Well, which one should he buy? Hogwarts Legacy versus Last of Us Part 1. But he's already played Last of Us Part 1. He just played on a PS4. And we were like, that's not a good comparison because they're both $70. And if I had $70, I'm not going to buy a game I already beat. I don't care if it's in PS4, PS5, PS6. I don't care if it's in 1080p, 4K, 8K, 10K. It doesn't really matter unless they added something to the game, which of course in The Last of Us they didn't. I am enjoying my playthrough with Hogwarts Legacy, so I do recommend, especially on the consoles. I believe the better question is, are you willing to pay $70 for a game you already beat? My guess is probably not. Yes, purchased Hogwarts Legacy after all recommendations and loving it. Glad to hear it. I wonder what everybody else said on that. Hogwarts takes inspiration from other games. It manages to create a unique and surprising world. The Last of Us remake is, The Last of Us. Exactly. You want to spend $70 on a game that you already played and a version of it is available in a catalog or collection for what? Improved shadow, more precise gray hair on his beard. That's brutal honesty, really old. Wait until the release of The Last of Us Part 3. I don't know about that, but but yeah, I agree with everybody else here. Alrighty, contacting support. Shibe. Contacting support. So you purchased PlayStation Plus a few days ago and would like to get a refund or just cancel it. However, when I try to contact support, it says not available, try again later. I have tried multiple days in a row, but it's never worked. Has anybody got any solutions or a specific timeline or a specific time it works? Thanks. I don't think you can. If you purchase, okay. Did you already download it? That's the real question. Because once you download a game, I think it's pretty much it. Did you already download the game? I don't. Did you already download the game? You can also try sending their support an email to see if they respond back quicker. So yeah, a lot of it has to do with whether or not you downloaded the game. Scam? What? Okay. Well, a lot of it has to do whether or not you downloaded the game. If you downloaded the game, then I don't know for sure if you can get your money back. But if you didn't download the game and it's still in the store, you should be able to get your money back. And you can also try sending support an email to see if they respond back quicker. Yeah, or just contact support. I don't know if this is a real ticket or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and reply because that's what we do. Okay, I see that, and that is pretty sweet, but I think it's actually in one of these groups. I only left it there because I had a feeling that we may have to come back to it in case I didn't put it in a group. So this is from Timely Necessary. Right trigger rumble vibration sounds wrong. Okay, I'm down. Let's hear it. Yo, why does controller sound like an RC car? Your controller sounds like a RC car. Oh, but in all seriousness, that is the sound of a motor dying. Guessing your controller is on its last legs, bro. That is right trigger rumble vibration. Yeah. So the trigger may be getting ready to go out, or at least the vibration may. So, you know, he may be able to use it even past that, but it just not have the vibration. But that's the sound of the vibration going out, because essentially what it's doing is it's going like this really, really fast, right? I don't want to do it too much because obviously this is at 60p, and I don't want to make it look like a wave. So I'm not going to do it as fast as I could. So, but essentially it's vibrating back and forth, and over time, the bearings on it tend to go out, or the bearings on it can go out, and that vibration is not as aggressive. And here it appears that it's not only is it not concentric, it's kind of like oval shaped. So because of that, it's trying to vibrate, but it's actually losing thread. So basically it's like on its way out the door. So the vibration feature, not necessarily the controller itself, but generally without that vibration, he may be apt to return it, because he may not get any kickback whenever he presses the right trigger. So yeah, just let him know kind of the situation there, but that's what it sounds like. Alrighty, realistic airport. Let's do this. Oh, that's right, the dude with the percussive maintenance. I remember this. Okay, computer stutters during game. So he gave us the specs, and basically his computer just kind of messes up during game. And I said, so for this one, how much RAM do you have? Do you have an XMP profile? What happens if you turn it off? That would be unlikely, as I don't have any Intel parts. Okay, yeah, I remember this. Alrighty, so how about this? What happens if you reset the GPU? Does it stutter in BIOS? Also, what with that RAM, try one stick instead of two, and vice versa. Only let it get to BIOS. We just want to see if that makes the stuttering go away. I have tried reseating the GPU after removing one stick of RAM. Then with the second stick of RAM alone in the PC, the problem was not alleviated, though I believe the BIOS is designed to lag momentarily when the monitor tab repopulating with data. Okay, so in BIOS, if you leave the computer alone, do you see the stuttering? Or is it only when you tab through options in BIOS that you see it? Did he already update his BIOS? Oh, that's right. We were afraid. Oh, that's right. I remember now. We were afraid to update his BIOS because of his specs, and we were worried that some of his specs may be a little daunting for a BIOS update. We were worried that maybe some of his gear may start to not function because of a BIOS update. But let's go ahead and ask him just in case. Okay, so in BIOS, you really computer alone, do you see stuttering, or is it only when you tab through options in BIOS that you see it? Also, you may want to look into updating the BIOS. If it goes bad, we will just clear CMOS and try again. Okay. Be sure to write down your current BIOS prior to the update to make sure we can roll back in the event there is an issue. Okay, so try a BIOS update because it's happening in BIOS. So if it's happening in BIOS, that typically means you have some type of a hardware issue. It could be memory, it could be motherboard, it could be CPU. So let's just go ahead and start with an update of the BIOS and see exactly what happens with that. And then we also talked about the XMP profile, but I don't think he was able to see it. But a BIOS update should take care of that as well. So we'll see exactly what happens with this. But yeah, I will go with the BIOS update. Did anybody else reply on this? The monitor said correctly. As for the alleged, okay, yeah, this is us talking. So now once that you state you reseated anything or opened up the computer and checked the internals, good point. I'll edit the original post to include that info. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's just us talking. All right then. So yeah, we'll give him some time here and let's see what he says and then just kind of go from there. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Okay, and rate the setup. Well, you did the best with what you had. That's what I rate for that setup. It deserves a participation trophy. Profile cabinet. Yeah, it is a participation trophy. Profile cabinet. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty sweet. I mean, hey, you do the best you can with what you got, so I get that. I like his Hulk action figures, though. That's pretty sweet. But I'm the type of person, I'd bang my knee against these drawers every single time, and I'd cuss out that computer if it stubs my toe. That's the type of person I am, because I was like, there's no way I'd make it here alive. I'd either have a broken knee, or tibia, or a torn ACL, or a broken foot. Like, it's too much here. I just feel like I just destroyed my knee and my foot. I would rather just have it standing or on the floor than have it in such a confined space where I can't, like, turn around and, like, sit properly. But at the same time, he probably just puts his leg on top of that computer, so I guess that's pretty sweet. Okay, this is from Super, and it's another repeat. He says, Windows 10 sometimes prevents me from taking any form of screenshot. Oh, I remember this. This is a guy who couldn't take a screenshot, and we were like, instead of troubleshooting the issue, let's just give him a solution. And then we said, honestly, I've never once used Screenshot Tool. This is because the program LiveShot exists. It's free, and you can macro the screenshot to any button you want. I would say just try that instead, unless it doesn't have a feature you need. If that is the case, let us know. Feels like beating around the bush, but I'll look into if the problem keeps happening. Thank you. It 100% is. It 100% is. I was trying to protect your time. If there is a solution that is better, that is arguably better than your current solution for free, without you, it is 100% is. I was trying to protect your time. If there is a solution that is arguably better than your current solution, solution for free, without you having to troubleshoot your old screenshotting method, it's let me see if I say that right. It 100% is. I was trying to protect your time. If there is a solution that is arguably better than your current solution for free, without you having to troubleshoot your old issue, it would be a dishonor not to mention it. It would be a dishonor to you. It would be dishonor not to mention it. It would be, yeah. Let me say I said that right. If there is a solution that is arguably better than your current solution for free, without you having to troubleshoot your old issue, it would be a dishonor not to mention it. Yeah, that's right. But if you want to work the issue, I'm down. So he said, Win Shift S. So let's go ahead and go to Windows 10. He said 10. Win Shift S. Oh. All right. All right. So Win Shift S. Got it. So rarely my Windows 10 PC will just prevent me from taking screenshots. I'm just reading it here. There's no point in switching back just yet. Win Shift S completely stops working. Windows print screen stops working. the snip and sketch tool doesn't do anything when I hit the screenshot button. The only method of screenshotting that actually works is opening Xbox Game Bar and hitting the screenshot button from there. Okay, so with this one here, it sounds like there is a possibility another program is utilizing the capture the screenshot buttons, screenshot macro. I would try to change it to something else to see if it makes a difference. Let's see if you can. So if we go still in AMD, if we did, it was that. Let me see here. Full screen snip, Windows snip, freeform snip. Let's see. I don't know if you can change your settings on that, actually. Okay, here, let's go back. That's all I was writing. I didn't see a point if I was saying it as I was typing it, so I didn't see a point in swapping. But let's go. Oh, it's a screenshot mac. Can you change the screenshot macro? Google Windows 10 change screenshot macro. Windows 10. Depending on your hardware, you may use the Windows key print screen button as a shortcut for print screen. If your device does not have print screen button, you may use function Windows logo spacebar to take a screenshot, which can then be opened. 10, click ease of access, then click keyboard. Okay, Windows 10, click ease of access, click on keyboard. Windows 10, ease of access, and then keyboard. Okay, and then what do you say after that? Keyboard, ease of access, click on keyboard. Under the print screen shortcuts section, turn on the use print screen button to open snipping toggle switch. Print screen shortcut. Use the print screen button to open screen snipping. Based on other app settings, you might need to restart your PC to see if this changed. There we go. That's what he would want to do here. So let's go ahead and copy that. Control C. And let's go back to work. And let's look at that. Where were we? I feel like we were around here somewhere. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. See if it makes a difference. I would try to enable an alternate button for the screen snip tool. There we go. Open settings on Windows 10, click on ease of access, click on keyboard. Under the print screen shortcut section, turn on use the print screen button to open screen snipping toggle switch and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so yeah. So it's always best when we're talking about troubleshooting a customer's issue or just anyone. Make sure that's not anything popping off. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. On call. Okay, just making sure. Man, the team's call. Okay, so it's not me. All right, cool. So generally when you're troubleshooting an issue, you always want to make sure that you are honest with the customer's time, because there are situations where the person may not realize how long something takes, right? So we've done this enough. So we've done this for months and months and months. So we've taken thousands of tickets, right? So we know pretty much how long it's going to take to fix a particular issue. Sometimes it may take a couple days. Sometimes it may take 3 days. Sometimes it may be folded meat and take 3 weeks. But we have a pretty good idea how long it's going to take to troubleshoot issues. Sometimes if it goes hardware, it goes hardware. But we can pretty much give you a ballpark of how long it's going to take us to troubleshoot it with us coming back every single day day or every single weekday. So you kind of have to protect the customer from himself in certain situations. So if you know, if there is a solution that is just as good as his original solution, then you got to let them know, because if you don't, then you're doing him a disservice, because you're just wasting his time. If you could have gave him a solution that saves him, and it only takes, you know, 5 minutes for him to go and download the solution and it works, then it's better for him to only spend 5 minutes than work with you for 4 hours. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be honest with the customer's time, because he doesn't know how long it's going to take to troubleshoot something that he just wants it fixed. You see what I'm saying? So you're just trying to make sure that you also honor that person and their time, because if not, you'll be troubleshooting, you know, the entire day, and it may be great for you if you're into troubleshooting, but at the same time, it may not be great for the person on the other end. So you always have to judge that time factor. Whenever you're trying to, you know, troubleshoot any type of thing, it doesn't matter if we're talking about troubleshooting tech or just life in general. You always want to take their time into consideration. Okay, super. Keep us posted if you want to troubleshoot it. If not, don't keep us posted. Alrighty. Killer B. Hey, we just saw Killer B in the Naruto trailer. Severe ghosting after updating motherboard BIOS and installing the Intel chipset drivers. And I remember this. This is the guy with the really long post. Why does it keep doing that? It's the interfaces now, so we should be good with the tool tomorrow. Okay, colleagues, I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, so we asked him about VSync, and then he replied back, and he said, "Question: when you reboot the PC, is it coming back up or up? Are the ghost trails still there? No ghosting on reboot. All is fine until I'm in game, then everything is ghosting like mad. Then everything goes back to normal once I exit the game." Okay, cool. So his ghosting isn't upon reboot. About the VSync. About VSync, some games like CSGO go above 144 FPS at 2K resolution for me, so I just keep it on across the board. But I've tested both with and without VSync, and it's the same. It also doesn't explain why my desktop seems to ghost like that when the game is minimized. It's very bizarre. It's not like I'm looking at 60 FPS on a 144 hertz screen. It's as if everything has extreme levels of ghosting. Or ghost trailing, like the image is quadrupled and superimposed. It's like an old school game when a texture was missing. The edge of a present texture would repeat forever in the space of the mixing texture. Okay, if you know what I mean. Okay, so his ghosting is only when he's playing games. Now let's look at the games that he was talking about. He said, "Fine until I'm in game." So it doesn't matter which game he plays. He sees ghosting. What graphics card does he have? RTX 3080? Well, we're not very fond of the newest driver, but let's go ahead and try this. That's a Tomahawk, isn't it? Didn't he say it's a Tomahawk? Yes, it's a Z490 Tomahawk. So this means that this guy has more than one PCIe lane. Okay. What happens if you move your GPU into a different PCIe lane? Does the issue go away? Also, I wonder if we said he updated drivers. Okay, I have tried reinstalling NVIDIA drivers, but nothing helps. Does anyone have any idea of what to do? So you see severe ghosting only when in game. Do you see it while playing videos? Also, do you see ghosting watching YouTube content? He may have already said it. I just didn't feel like reading it. But okay, yeah. No, that's right. He had examples. Okay, so he was showing us Spider-Man, and then oh god, that's right. We were looking at this and we were like, Jesus, man. Okay, does it? Okay, there is sound, but it's just a little bit. But yeah, I get it. It's kind of blurry. I kind of want to see. Now, it is a RTX 3080, so you can say, hey, let's try to turn down the settings to see what happens. But his examples, I don't know, man. Oh, let's try this. I got an idea. He has, how many monitors do you have? And do you see Ghost and watching YouTube content? How many monitors do you have? Do you have a TV? If you change nothing, and move your computer to wherever another monitor slash TV is, and hook it up, does the ghosting go away? I don't care if the other TV is 60 FPS. I don't care if the other TV is 60 FPS. We still want to do the test. See, this is going to be great, because what this will show us is whether or not if other monitors have the problem, because it seems like he may just be having an issue with his regular monitor, his 144 hertz monitor, not being able to display the amount of hertz that is currently set on this guy. What happens if you move your GPU into a different PCIe lane? Does the issue go away? Let's see here. We'll start with this one because this one makes the most sense. And then we say right here, and then we say also, what happens if you move your GPU into a different PCIe lane? Does the issue go away? So we'll go with that. So basically just pick up his computer. I don't care what kind of computer it is. I don't care how heavy it is, and move it into a different room, hook it up to a different television and or monitor, and see if it makes a difference to the issue. Does the issue go away when you move it from one location to another and use a different monitor? Because it sounds like his monitor may be going out, but if he uses the exact same HDMI cable or DVI, wow, Anthony, don't tell everybody your age, display or HDMI, if he uses the same display or HDMI and it solves his issue when he goes to another monitor, then his monitor is the one that's having the problem. So that's what we need to do on this one here in order to continue. So Killer B, keep us posted. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking on this guy. All right, we'll go to the next one here. Actually, let's talk about this. Complete carry-on gaming work computer. What kind of computer is in that box? Oh, that's a well, at first I thought it was a Dan case, but it doesn't look like it. It's too rectangular. What is that? PC Park Picker. Thank you so much. We don't even care. Who's just trying to go down to the case? Pelican 1510. Okay, to be fair, the Pelican 1510 can fit damn near anything, okay? When it comes to the ITX world, the Pelican 1510 is one of the best cases that you can use for traveling, because you don't have to worry about the weight of the PC. At that point, it doesn't matter. So if you want to use like a Sentry, and a Sentry weighs, 287 freaking pounds, you can still use it and then just put it in the case and then just roll it. So I definitely recommend that 1510. That 1510 is great. The Strix 15.6, 1080p. 144 hertz. This monitor is pretty dope. I have the 240 hertz one, and they don't even sell it anymore. That guy is pretty sweet. What is your case, bro? Pelican travel Wi-Fi router. That's interesting. And then rechargeable monitor clips. Yes, double monitors. Got that. USB microphone. Pelican. I got that. Oh, a Velka 3. Okay. So the Velka 3 can only fit like a very small form factor card. I think the best thing it could do is like a 1060 or 1070 mini. I'm sorry, 3060 or 3070 mini, something along those lines. But yeah, Velka 3 is a super compact case. It seems a little bit too much for something this for something this darn big, but I get it. So yeah, he can hold his whole kit in there. So if we go back to his original picture here, so that is his computer plus his keyboard plus it looked like a drone at first, plus all of his peripherals and everything that he needs, all in one location. And then on the underside, so basically this is usually foam, but it looks like he has it set for an underside so he can put like laptops or monitors. So he has his monitors over here in this side. And so now he has his monitors and he has his computer. This is actually extremely, extremely dope. But because his monitor, or I'm sorry, his computer is so light, he doesn't have to worry about it damaging his monitors. The 1510 is this dope. Like, it's really, really, really good because you have this entire cutout for whatever kind of monitor or whatever kind of computer case you want to go for. This thing can it can fit a Sentry, it can fit the Meshalicious, it can fit the NR200P, it can fit just about any case you want. So yeah, the 1510 is dope. You can even get some underside sticky adhesive so that you can actually have pockets and stuff. Like, it's very, very, very good. I wonder where he got these trays, these organizing trays. Custom USB microphone, Aelco condenser podcast, whatever. I ain't sure about that. It's the cutout that I'm interested in. That's kind of an interesting cutout there. Home electrical, Velcom, photographic, Patrick Designs, laptop lid organizer. Okay, that's a lid organizer that fits the Pelican 1510. Actually, I think I have that. I think I truly do have that. Like, it's in another room. Includes shipping, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for the breakdown of everything. That lid accessory is something I did not know I needed. Yeah, that lid accessory is pretty sweet. Actually, that's a little different than mine. Mine is actually, it just has a bunch of pockets. It doesn't have this long one. Let me actually grab that from him because I didn't know that was a thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's on Etsy. Is it also on Amazon? This is the one I got. Okay, so now we see a difference. His is way better. So yeah, we're gonna have to get that from him. I'm sorry. That's clean. That is so clean. And he got it off of Etsy. If we go back, search web, Etsy. Yes, he got it off of Etsy. So if you guys are interested in something like that and you want to do a build with the 1510, this is probably what I would recommend. This is way better than the one I have. The one that I have from Amazon, which is this guy that has all these pockets. This is exactly what the one I got looks like. This one from Etsy is a million times better because right here you can put both of your monitors in there, and if it can hold up to a 15/6, okay. So it looks like it can hold a 15-inch and a 16-inch laptop, which means that it can fit the 15.6. It may not be able to fit a 17.3-inch tablet, or actually we can test this real quick. Because there are certain monitors that are 17.3 inches and it may not be able to fit. Okay, so it can fit up to a MacBook Pro size 16, which means that it can also fit the Asus Strix XG17 AHPE, which is this guy here. Asus Strix XG17 AHPE. This guy. 17-inch, 17.3 inch, 240 hertz refresh rate. So this guy can fit because this guy is the same size as a MacBook Pro 16-inch. The reason why I know is because I literally have a MacBook Pro 16-inch and it fits in the exact same slot. Okay, well, that's good to know. So Etsy, that's where that's at. So dope build. That is one incredible breakdown. Incredible breakdown, bro. Really appreciate it. Dope build. This is like the dream travel build right here. I want to be able to do this, but mine would have like cam links and like a million cam links and stuff for live streams and a bunch of cables. But that's still pretty sweet. What group are we on? 3? I feel like we're on 3. What? Okay. Okay, so this is a repeat. Accessing Modern Warfare 2 without owning the game. Oh yeah, we talked about this. Well, you are playing on his account, so essentially it means he cannot go online if you are playing, but if he is not using it, it should be fine. He has a home account, so he uses another account to play the game. It sounds like you know exactly how it works. Yeah. Well, I have a sister, and we have shared accounts before. So, well, I have a sister and we have shared accounts before. So they all pretty much behave the same way. And we run a live stream where we troubleshoot all types of technical issues. And this one has come up several times. But if he is using a different account, you should be fine. Even if the account loses Xbox Live access, he should still be fine because the account is still legal. So it's not like he put out, you know, a search or somebody took his account or something like that. You know, he's just using his friend's account, so he should be okay. But if he is using a different account, you should be fine. Yeah, so my sister and I, whenever we had the Nintendo Switch, we wanted to play Smash Brothers. We were trying to do it on the same account because I didn't want to pay for 2 Smash Brothers, but that's the only way you can play it. She would have to have her own account and you have your own account, and then you can go online and play each other. But of course, once we did all that, we realized that playing online for the Smash Brothers is stupid. So yeah, that Nintendo still doesn't know how to do Wi-Fi or online multiplayer. Alrighty, Aether. Hey, Greater Aether and Seraph. Okay, so it's Aether and Seraph. So you are a main character and an angel. Okay, cool. Seraphim has 9 wings. Xbox Series X and LG C2 OLED frequently stops communicating properly with each other, leaving the Xbox a low resolution with nearly all video options unavailable. I remember this. We actually went into the Xbox and we went to the settings and we talked about this. And speaking of Xbox, let me make sure it actually turns on here. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So let's go back to work here. Let's see what he said on that. So we told him exactly where to go. We were like, hey, go to your power options. Be sure it is set to sleep and not shutdown, as shutdown behaves exactly the way Windows PC behaves, and that the potential to put inputs, Ethernet ports, and other connecting devices to sleep as well. There are also some advanced options you can investigate, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, I'll check it out. I never thought to look there for anything. Forgive me for a potentially very stupid question though, but how does a shutdown have the potential to put input ports to sleep, but sleep mode doesn't? I mean, if both devices have already been on for a while, as I toggle through different options and even going through cycles of the bug being active and not, I would think none of those input/ports would still be in sleep mode because the power save option lowers the wattage of the peripherals, lowers the wattage of the system in total, lower than the shutdown option. Because the power save option lowers the wattage of the system in total, lower than the shutdown option. This is why. Therefore, it has a tendency to put devices to sleep, similar to laptops and their peripherals in Device Manager. So what I'm referring to, I can show you. So I'll show you the Xbox side of it first, and then I'll show you the Windows side of it. So what I'm referring to is this power options. So the shutdown, the energy, oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke on here. So in total, lower than the sleep option. Current power used while off. Yeah. So this is 0.5 watts and this is 10 to 15. It's because the power saving option lowers the wattage of the system in total, lower than the sleep option. This is why, therefore, it has a tendency to put devices to sleep, similar to laptops and their peripherals and Device Manager, right? Because this right here uses 10 to 15 watts, but the other one only uses 0.5. And so if we go to, let's go Windows 11 because we haven't been there yet. So if we go to Windows 11 and we go in here and we go to your power options, edit power plan, and we go to advanced settings, these right here. So select the suspension and PCIe link state power management, as well as turn off display. And you also see this on the NICs as well. So if we go to, like, for example, Device Manager instead, Device Manager, and we go to like network adapters, and sure, we'll go for this, whatever. Power management. So also here, allow the computer to turn the device to save power. So basically, you're really trying to decide between hibernation and sleep. So it appears that one with the less power is actually hibernating and the other one is sleeping. Username, hey brother, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Username, what's your password? I'm joking, please don't tell me that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go back to him and let's answer his question. All right, so because the power save option lowers the wattage of the system in total lower than the sleep option. This is why therefore it has a tendency. Therefore, it has a tendency to put devices to sleep, similar to laptops and their peripherals in Device Manager. In Device Manager, power savings. Plus, we run a live stream where we troubleshoot video game issues, well, gaming issues, and this pops up often. So yeah, it manifests itself in different ways, but essentially what happens is, depending on your monitor and your television and what you're having hooked up to your Xbox Series X, what we've run into in the past, I don't know, million tickets we've done so far, is they have situations where either whenever the Xbox goes to sleep, they lose HDMI input, and then when they try to connect back, they don't have it, or the screen doesn't show a picture, and it used to show a picture, but now it doesn't show a picture once the Xbox goes to sleep and then wakes up. It always manifests itself with something like that. So it appears that in his situation, his resolution goes down to 480p. However, in other people's resolution or other people's issue, it may be a black screen because their TV is not capable of displaying 480p. Does that make sense? Some television can only show 4K and 1080p. So if you are showing a 480p resolution, it may not be able to show that. But this man has an LG C2, which is an excellent television. So it could probably go down to 480p, and that's why it's still showing him a picture. But if it was anybody else, it'll probably be a black screen. That's what we've noticed whenever people go to the sleep power saving option that only is 0.5 watts versus the 10 to 15. That's where we get this information from previous customers that have also had this issue with different televisions. He's the first one that's had this issue with the C2 though, that we've seen. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. It's very, well, I guess it's not really rare anymore because you think about the Xbox Series X and the LG C2, both of them are pretty high-end products. Okay, finally done. Another generic O11D with all the RGB coming from a 4790K and a GTX 980. This is a big jump. Yo, the 4790K was dope. The GTX 980 is also dope. Oh my goodness, this man went all in. I like the all white. It is clean, but I also don't like the glass. Like I have the glass here on the Define R6, and I'm not crazy about it here. I'm just like, you know, I worry about the cooling, but at least he has 3 fans going into his actual graphics card to keep it cool. And there's enough space so there's no turbulence. This is actually a really nice build. I like it a lot. And on top of that, if he decides to go liquid cooling, it's almost like the Y40 and the Y60 where you can actually put a AIO on the back panel. And instead of on the top, you can put it on the back panel and then leave the top for the CPU. What is it? NZXT height Y40 or something like that. I think it's like height Y40 and Y60. Yeah, these guys. So you can actually put an AIO back here, and you can also put something up top, but particularly back here. And so people would have a GPU and they'll put its cooler back here. That way it won't overheat because this guy is all glass. So that's what it reminds me of. But still, dope build. That is a heck of an upgrade for you. Congratulations. That is awesome. That is a super upgrade. This man went from a 4790K and a 980 to that. That's pretty sweet, bro. Congratulations. Dude, I've got a 5950X with a 3070 Ti, 2 terabytes, 870 EVO, and 48 gigs of RAM. Nice. An RM1000X, 1000 watt PSU. I get some micro stutters here and there. It's not as bad as before. I put the other 16 gigs on top of that in the 3600 megahertz RAM I had. Well, okay, so be careful with that though. Make sure that the RAM that you added to it is going to be the exact same speed as the one you were previously using. I'm guessing it's not. So you may have some different spec RAM, because typically if you buy RAM and you buy 32 gigs, right, then that means that you usually probably bought like 2 16s, and then you bought another 16 on top of that, and that was a single DIMM. But okay, I thought you were about to reply, but yeah, so you might not have, might run Cinebench to test it, yeah. So you might have a RAM incongruency. In other words, you may be trying to put it to an XMP profile that not all your RAM types support. So you want to be careful on that, and you may want to try it without an XMP profile because you have the extra RAM. But of course, I know that you probably added the RAM because you were having the micro stuttering issue. So depending on what game, that may actually be more game related, but we'll find out. So let me know what kind of games that you're actually playing. And also a Cinebench test would also be good if you have a micro stuttering in there as well. But make sure that you have your XMP profile off whenever you do one of your tests. So you can do one of your tests with it on and then do another test with it off to see if it makes a difference and see if you get the micro stutters. Okay, this is from El Casa. And it's a picture. Oh, no, it's a video. I'm down for a video. Wait, what? Okay, I'm down. Okay, no. Volume. Oh, it looks like he found a secret. He fell out of the game. Wow. Okay. That is most definitely a feature of this game to teleport you from, what was it? Atomic Heart to Elastic Heart? Atomic Heart to, what was it? I think it's called Elastic Heart. I see your reply. Just give me 1 second here. I got to remember the name. Elastic Heart? Elastic Heart. Is it? No, that's, see, what's the other heart game? New games that just came out. One is Atomic Heart and the other one is something else. It's Atomic Heart and some other heart. New, just say heart. I'm gonna do this joke. It is happening and I'm not coming back from it. It's like Atomic Heart and then new game just came out, Atomic Heart. Okay, well here, let's just ask IGN. IGN knows. It did a review on both games. Games. No. I thought you had like reviews or something. Like you don't have a medium tab. Games, no. Oh, here we go. Heart. Atomic Heart, yes. Wild Heart. There it is. Wild Heart. Okay. Let's go back to the joke that we were trying to do. That's most definitely a feature of this game to teleport you from Atomic Heart to Wild Heart. To Wild Heart. LOL. There we go. Alrighty. So the speed for my CPU is max related at 3200. Sadly, so I just clocked them all to 3200 anyway, so that fixed it a little bit. But tonight is running crispy. Just been running COD. Okay, so yeah, keep us posted. If you still have issues, let us know. But yeah, a lot of times it's going to be RAM related, especially with games like Hogwarts and all of these newer games that eat up a lot of RAM. You start to notice that you may have some micro stutters in games because you're starting to run out of RAM, because basically what's happening is it's taking the game and it's loading it into RAM. This is why your hard drive speed doesn't matter when it comes to a video game, because it basically takes it and then loads the game into RAM, and then it goes from there. But depending on some of these newer games, like for example, we did a test where we saw Hogwarts Legacy get up to like 12 gigs. We weren't even playing. We were just trying to pick a character and it was at 12 gigs. So it was like 10 to 12 gigs. So yeah, depending on some of those games, they can really push that 16, but I know you already had 32, but you probably are getting close depending on what you're doing. So yeah, I think it's just time for everybody to start looking at more memory depending on the situation when it comes to video games. That long story where you don't need more than 16 gigs of RAM, I don't know if that can actually hold value anymore as graphics cards and computers and video games are getting better and better. So yeah. Alrighty, here, let's go ahead and go to the next person here. It's in PC. This is definitely a feature of this game to teleport you from Atomic Heart to Wild Heart. LOL. Yeah, my joke is funnier because nobody else made a joke, so I'm gonna take this as a W. We don't get blown up by somebody else making funnier jokes than us. Okay, connection problems with Series X using NES Wi-Fi. I remember this. We were talking about Wi-Fi and NAT and yada 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 and opening ports. Also, is your Xbox connected via Wi-Fi or wired? If it's on Wi-Fi, go ahead and connect it wired to see if it makes a difference. So out of curiosity, what happens if you bypass your router temporarily? Understand that everyone will be kicked off the internet for a bit, but go ahead and test to see if the Xbox can stay online and keep an IP. Also, you may want to try a firmware update for the NES router to see if it makes a difference. It works wired, but it's not via Wi-Fi. It seems resolved over wire, but I would still like to figure it out. What do you mean by bypass my router? I don't mean anything. Nothing. Never mind. Never mind. We don't need to take that route as we are only troubleshooting Wi-Fi at this point. If you would have said wired failed, I would have continued with the bypass. But him saying it that way also means that more than likely he has a modem router combo and he doesn't have two separate devices, so he wouldn't have been able to do a bypass anyway. Because the way he said it, it was almost as if he doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, not even close. So because of that, more than likely he just has an all-in-one device. So there's no point in continuing that. Plus we don't need to because he's already verified that it works wired. His issue is just Wi-Fi. So about the Wi-Fi issue, what happens if you test the right next to the router, but not directly connected? Does the issue resolve itself as well? So this is a fancy way of saying, do you have a signal connectivity issue? So basically, is the router too far, if there's metal in your home, stuff like that? But the quickest way to do it is basically, he's already proven that he can hook up directly. So if we already know he can hook up directly, that means he can go somewhere near it. So now instead of hooking up directly, just unplug it, but just make sure you're very, very close to the router and then do another test. That'll let us know if your issue is signal base. In other words, everything is perfectly fine when I'm directly next to it, but when I go back in my room, that's when I have the problem. Well, we're just troubleshooting signal connectivity at that point, in which case I would say to you, Ethernet over power adapter. But if he says, hey, I still don't have good Wi-Fi signal, even when I'm right next to the router, then we're looking at rebooting the router and updating the firmware. So that's how we would troubleshoot that. It's two totally different troubleshooting paths. Again, so basically we're just making it easy on him instead of us giving him two different answers from two different paths. So yeah, that's what we would do on this one here. So funny, wacky guy, keep us posted. But yeah, that's how we would play him. So he, so he could probably go do the same thing if you're like, okay, so I tried this and this, but what does this mean? Be like, don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and go to the next question because we don't want to waste his time trying to teach him networking. The man ain't trying to get a CCNA. He's just trying to fix his router. So there's no point in going too far into it. So just giving him enough information to go off of and just go from there. There's no point in trying to explain it to him, but you guys know. So if you guys actually ask me about this information, I'd tell you, but there's no need to explain to him because he's no longer having that particular issue. All right, group 4, let's do this. Okay, let me get ready. NBA 2K23. Nobody's ever asked me about NBA 2K23. It's been a long time. Maybe 5 months. That's like 5,000 tickets. Xbox Series S downloading speed with good Wi-Fi. Just got an Xbox Series S. When I downloaded games, it goes very slow. It takes over 10 hours to download. My old Xbox One and current PS5 doesn't do that. You can't compare those. Your old Xbox One is a hard drive and your PS5 is an NVMe. Looked it up. seen people do have this issue with Xbox saying it's a Microsoft thing to keep servers from crashing, I guess. But just to explain in more detail, I download GTA Online at 9 a.m. today. Megabits per second started around 9:15, and estimated time to download was 10 hours. Look, well, yeah, because you have 15 megabits per second and it's like a 30 gig game, bro. That's just math. But of course we won't say that to him, but that's what it is. I looked at Reddit and saw a few solutions like change the DNS to 8.8.8.8, 8.8.4.4, and it worked. That's absolutely correct. Sometimes, depending on the routers, they have it set to the actual next hop, which is going to be your internet service provider's DNS. The megabits per second changed to 70 to 80 and estimated time cut down to 2 hours. I use the Ethernet cable as well. Ooh, so he's wired. And only game I have on there is Roblox because NBA 2K23 had accidentally deleted. Not sure if I did that myself when I know I didn't, or the system, because I originally deleted Grand Theft Auto 5 to download only the online. Excuse me. So the game that took a day to download got deleted today. I just got the Xbox 2 days ago, so I'm just about over it. Anyways, that was around 9 a.m. Then hits 11 a.m. We are at 50%, 2 hours in, and it wasn't even halfway done. I'm typing this at 2 p.m. and it still isn't done. So what the heck, if anyone can help, because Microsoft is useless. Sure. Troubleshooting issues is what we do. Troubleshooting issues is what we do. Unfortunately, there is little we can do here. No, I'm joking. Sometimes I like to type it out, even though I'm not actually going to say that. So, do you have a computer or phone? Actually, we'll say, do you have a phone or laptop? Get near the Xbox Series. Let me think about that. He's wired and his internet is slow. So do you have... There's no point in testing the phone because the phone signal is going to be weaker on Wi-Fi. Well, actually, you know what? It's okay to ask that. Because, okay, so generally the reason why I was kind of going back and forth with it is because you don't really want to... I was thinking to myself that I really didn't want to ask that because the Wi-Fi signal will more than likely be weaker than his wired signal, so it won't be of any value to us to answer that question. However, if the Wi-Fi is stronger than the wired, then that lets us know that his Xbox is actually having problems wiring to the hard drive. But if it's weaker, then that just means that he may have a slow internet connection, and it is what it is, because a lot of times, well, that's not a lot of times, but at the same time, depending on the company that he's with for his Wi-Fi, they have situations where they can actually see the type of traffic that you're sending and they can nerf it. So if they see that it is gaming packets or something along those lines, or they see that it is UDP packets, and they see that, you're trying to play a video game or something along those lines, because they can see it in the header before it becomes encrypted, then they can nerf your speed because of it. Now, you changing your DNS to 8.8.8.8 seems to have helped a little bit, but it's a possibility that it's still going through your internet service. Well, there's no possibility. You're going through your internet service provider. You're just using your 8.8.8, so Google for your DNS lookup. So yeah, without getting too technical, it is a possibility that you are having networking issues, and this is how you would troubleshoot it. So it's okay to ask about phone and laptop, but with this one here, let's just say this. So, do you have any other wired devices in your home connected to the router? Try to do a speed test with them to see if the network speeds are the same. So we're trying to debate between whether or not it's networking and hard drive, and that's probably the best way to go about it. So basically just try another computer and see what his actual internet speeds are. If his internet speeds are comparable, then more than likely we may be looking at something like a hard drive kind of situation, but you can just replace the hard drive with an SSD. But, I think he may just kind of be over it with the Xbox Series S, So I get it. We'll just let him know depending on the situation, but we have to ask some questions first. Okay, Alicia, haha, keep us posted. All right, current net. Let's do this. Give me 1 second here. Okay, current net. Okay. Hi, my games continue to alt tab. Hi, my games continue to alt tab. I remember a while back this used to happen to me on Windows. I have found a program that told what was causing my computer to change focus and to what program it was focusing on. Now I need it again. Does anyone know of this kind of program? Basically, it just told me what program my PC was focusing to and when. What? Program that shows what you are alt tabbing to. I don't know about that because hold on. So let's do this here. If we go to Windows 11, I thought that it would show you. Alt tab. Yeah. Alt tab and hold it. Alt tab and hold it. Let me see if that's in Windows 10. Let's try Windows 10 real quick. Windows 10. Where's my Windows 10 screen? Nope, that is a Mac. That is 100% a Mac that I am looking at, and you are not. So, okay. Alt tab and hold it. Alt tab and hold it. Okay. So yeah, alt tab and hold it. Hold the alt button down. Or is it just alt? No, it's not. It's alt tab and you hold down the alt. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that that's what that is, because it'll tell you right then and there. It does. The Macs do the exact same thing. It's just that instead of alt tab, it's like it's the Apple logo, that the Windows key essentially, and then tab. So if we go to, I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. If we go to the Mac, I think the Mac is the exact same way. Mac. Yeah, see, Mac is the same way. Okay, just making sure. Alrighty, so let's go back to him and let's answer his question. That's the Xbox question. So, regardless of operating system, you should be able to. Oh, it's from Windows. He's talking about Windows. Alt plus tab, then hold alt. This will show all the tabs you are about to switch to, thus letting you know the next program you are tabbing to. Let us know if this is what you are referring to. Reading in between the lines is what this is. That's essentially what we're doing. We're trying to read between the lines of what they're talking about. Because if you just hold that alt tab down, it appears in Windows 10, Windows 11, and on Macs. They all do the exact same thing. Whether it's alt tab or it's Windows key tab, it's the exact same thing. They both do the same thing. They'll show you exactly what you're tabbing to. So we just want to make sure that they do have an alternative, if it is an alternative. But I don't know what program they're referring to off the top of my head. Okay, yeah, so I guess you did have it. Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and go to the next one then, because we've been all through that. All right. Xtian. Okay, let me turn this on real quick. Appears nobody's asking us PlayStation issues, so we don't even need to turn it on. Xtian, whatever. We're trying to install Windows 10. Windows logo shows up for 10 seconds, and then the computer reboots. Wasn't somebody having this issue like a couple days ago? I'm trying to install Windows on my desktop PC, but the computer reboots a while after the Windows logo shows. Okay. System info, self-built Fedora 37 workstation installed, used to run Windows 10, so there shouldn't be any compatibility issues. Self-built Fedora 37 workstation installed, used to run, okay. Installation media. I downloaded the Windows 10 ISO from Microsoft website. I've tried both UEFI and legacy modes. Fast boot is off. Secure boot is also disabled. CM support both on. I tried to unplug the SSD where Linux is installed. I'm trying to install Windows on the HDD for a dual boot setup. Okay, so you're using a hard disk drive, but you're trying to set it up in dual boot. So one is Fedora and the other one is Windows. Okay. So it shouldn't, and he's right, there shouldn't be much of a problem, but he's trying to install on a 1 terabyte hard disk drive, and whenever it tries, it just reboots. It's a possibility that his drive may be corrupted. It's a possibility that your drive may be corrupted. He said when he gets to the Windows logo, I downloaded the Windows 10 ISO from the Microsoft website and made the installation media using the blah, 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 which I know works. The installation media worked without any problems on my MacBook Air. When I have tried both UEFI and legacy modes, fast boot is off, secure boot is disabled, CSM support both on and off. I tried unplugging the SSD where Linux is located. Okay, so basically he can't even get it to install. So, okay. Drive may be corrupted. Possibility that your drive may be corrupted. Try this. Install the Windows boot file on the hard drive instead. I get that this will not work properly, as you also want to install Windows on that drive. We just need to prove that you can get further than the thumb drive could. I get that that this will not work properly, as you also want to install Windows on that drive. We just need to prove that you can get further than the thumb drive, which would prove the problem is with the thumb drive. So yeah. So basically, we're doing something that won't work, right? We already know that if you, okay, not necessarily won't work, but it technically doesn't have a really good chance, right? Because if you take that Windows ISO and you try to burn it, it's not going to try to create a partition off that hard drive. It's going to take the whole hard drive. It's a possibility that it may only take a section, but that really kind of depends on how you are creating the partition. But if you are creating the partition and you have it set to have a unallocated space, then you could still do it. But it doesn't change the fact of what we're doing. What he said is that when he has his thumb drive hooked up to his computer, it doesn't get past the Windows logo. So it doesn't even try to install Windows on the hard drive. It doesn't even see it. It's just trying to load from the thumb drive, and that's where it's having the problem. So if that's the case, well, then just go ahead and put the Windows ISO on the hard drive and let it boot from the hard drive instead and see if it gets further. If it gets further, then that lets us know that the thumb drive is the one with the problem. It's pretty straightforward. Now, of course, he won't get Windows installed with that, unless he has an unallocated space on his partition or on his drive, but it will at least point us in the right direction. And that's kind of the way we want to troubleshoot this one. So Extia, eggs, keep us posted. You just give up and just call them in eggs. All right. So this FBV says, okay, we're back to Xbox. Okay, why is nobody asking us PlayStation issues? I think we had one PlayStation issue and then everything else has been Xbox. I haven't even found the Nintendo questions yet. Like every time I find Nintendo questions are usually already answered. But we're at the ready, I guess. My Xbox IP has changed and I can't change it back as it won't let me sign in or connect to the internet. Literally nothing is working and I don't know what to do. Well, reboot your router. Well, how about rebooting your router? Well, that sounds condescending. Well, let's start with rebooting your router to see if that allows your device to get a new IP. He's talking about a private IP address. So if it changed, then that's not a big deal. But if it's not getting him internet connectivity, then that more than likely means he has a problem with NAT, which means that he needs to reboot his router and then go from there. If we reboot his router and he still has the problem, then we'll go ahead and continue troubleshooting, looking at cables, if it's hooked up wired versus wireless, yada, yada, yada. We'll do all that, but we need to know this first. So let's start with rebooting your router to see if that allows your device to get a new IP. Are there any other devices in your home that uses that router? Are there any other devices in your home that uses that router having a problem? Sorry, I put my caps lock on. There we go. So yeah, so just ask if there are any other devices in the home. Just try to get an idea of, you know, what devices he has there, as well as just trying to see who's also using that router to see if they're also having problems getting IP addresses as well. So just kind of go like that, just to make sure that we troubleshoot the networking part of it. If he says, you know, everybody's fine except for his Xbox, then we'll continue troubleshooting the Xbox. But we got to know this before we can move on. So FBB, keep us posted, bro. Alrighty, group 5. I usually we go to group 6, but I didn't think we'll make it because, you know, we had like what, like 10 10 IGN what do they call it? Previews before the movie started. So we had like 10 previews before the movie actually started. So hey. All right, do tip 4702. That's essentially what you got to pay in tips these days. Is my 4090 normal? Hey, so I have an MSI Supreme RTX 4090. This was liquid cool, but it doesn't make a difference to the actual thermals, or it doesn't make a difference to the actual performance of it as well, because all 4090s are overclocked. GPU clock in game are 2790 and 2085 at 350 watts. Got a score in super position 4K mode of 3341. I have 4 PCIe pins connected. Max power limit is 520 watts. Default is 450-ish. Is this normal, or should I be getting more performance? GPU clock in game are 2790 and 2085. His GPU clock? Okay, well, let me find out. So we have a 4090 on this guy here, so we can just go look up GPU-Z and find out. GPU-Z. Yes, please don't crash my entire stream here. We just want to look at it so we can help this guy out. Okay, so my GPU, my 4090 is, let's see here. What did he say? His GPU clock. Let's see. My GPU clock is 2535. My GPU, my Gigabyte 4090 GPU is showing, what was it? 2535? 2535. It's showing 2535 megahertz. And we are doing a live stream. Plus, we have multiple remote desktops open. Plus, we have OBS open. Plus, we are recording. Plus, oops, sorry. Plus, we are live streaming. So, yeah, it sounds fine. This, they should both be equivalent, as the liquid cooled doesn't do much for the 4090 because all 4090s are overclocked already. That's why they're so big, because all 4090s, even the base model, are all overclocked. So because they're all overclocked, even though you're running liquid cooling, which should be faster than being on air, it doesn't make much of a difference, because the clock speeds are going to be pretty close to the same. He may be like 2 or 3 FPS faster, but it's not even going to be noticeable in game. So yeah, it sounds fine. They should both be equivalent, as the liquid cool doesn't do much for the 4090 because all 4090s are overclocked. And I can't spell overclocked because apparently it's 9 o'clock and I'm just not spelling it properly. But yes, that's what that is. So I'm showing 2535 or 2500 megahertz for my 4090. So, and mine is the Gigabyte version, which is this big bastard here. So, the Gigabyte version. So yeah. So mine does the exact same thing. 2500, it's about right. And then on top of that, typically most people do have it actually going into only 2 PCIEs instead of like 3 or 4, depending on the situation. So yeah, I try to put it on 3, just depending on what power supply I'm using. But yeah, I've seen some that only require 2. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, that's do tip. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. That was an interesting issue. That was, you know, not everybody knows that about the 4090s, how they're all overclocked. And because I've actually, the reason why I know this is because not even like 2-3 days ago, I saw a 4090 MSI Supreme, and I kind of wanted it because I got tired of my Gigabyte limiting my ITX case builds. So the reason why I can't build ITX cases is because of the 4090. And I was thinking, I was like, man, if I had the MSI Supreme, I'll be able to actually plug that into an ITX build and still take my like a CPU cooler, like a Noctua L9A, and be able to travel with it. But the problem with that is that those coolers sometimes may have a little bit too much water in them. Therefore, you may not be able to pass security. So there's a possibility that you may have too much water and you may not be able to pass security depending on what country you travel to. That's the reason that I didn't want to go with that. This is also why all of my ITX builds are on air and not AIOs. If they are on AIOs, they are very small AIOs, like the Asetek 645 LT, which is this guy here, Asetek 645 LT. Yeah, this little guy here. It's only 92 millimeters, so it's a very, very, very small AIO. So it's not a whole lot of liquid in here, so they probably won't have any problems with it. But just be warned, depending on the size of the AIO, sometimes if you're trying to take that through customs, they may not allow you to because of the water in the actual AIO. So you just kind of have to be on your P's and Q's about that. Is this the next one? I feel like it is. It is. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Old Wolf writes, is there a way to get my phone's location history even if Google Web Activity and location was off? Let me think about that. Is it a way to get my phone's location history? Location history? Location history. Even if Google Web Activity and location was off. Location history, like as far as a XYZ coordinate. Oh, and there's no Z coordinate, but unless you're in the earth, but like it's XY coordinates without having location services turned on. Yes, they can triangulate the phone signal depending on where you are and what towers you hit, but that's going super into it. I have my Google account location tracking disabled, but my location is turned on. My Google account's location and tracking disabled, but my location is turned on. Another app on my phone, Life 360, shows a totally wrong route last time. Is there a way to get the real GPS history directly from the Samsung GPS tracker itself or any other means? What? Oh, okay. So he has a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Where's my Samsung? Right here. Samsung. Let's do this. Let me turn it on. Oh, yeah, I like my picture. It is a picture I took. It's in Vegas. So it's I'm not even sure what it is, but it's some type of work of art that I saw, and I was like, I had an A7R Mark IV with me, so that's why it's so like ridiculously detailed. The actual shot itself. I love this image. It's one of my favorite images. I was so proud because I was like, okay, one, the object wasn't moving, so but I was actually taking that picture while standing, which was pretty sweet. But with this here, another app on my phone, Life 360, shows a totally wrong route last night. Life 360. What is that? So we're going to go to the Play Store and we're going to look up Life 360 because we need to make sure we know what he's talking about here. Okay. So Life 360 is this. Make sure there's nothing cray on here. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry. My hand is slipping. I don't have a case on it anymore. So it's very hard for me to. There you go. So Life 360, find family and friends, install. So basically he's literally trying to find other devices and other phones and friends and stuff like that. So basically it showed him a totally wrong route to get to a friend because his location services are turned off on his Google account. Is Life 360 Google related? No. Oh, okay. But Google as in it's no, this is a Samsung. What are you talking about? I have my Google account location tracking disabled, but my location is turned on. Any other app on my phone, Life 360, shows a totally wrong route last night. Is there a way to get a real GPS history directly from the Samsung GPS tracker itself or any other means? Are you referring to, we got to ask him because I'm just trying to figure this out. Are you referring to the Life 360 app in you want to set it up to have a different form of tracking? Is that the question? Or do you want to know if there is another program for finding someone, or is there another program for, or do you want to know if there's another program for finding someone? Like, I was thinking more along the lines of like a Google Earth or something along those lines, but I'm just not sure what he's trying to use this whole Life 360 for. I mean, it says find families and friends, and I saw some of the pictures, but here, let's just watch the little video thingy just so we can kind of get an idea. I just want to make sure before I finish answering this question. Let's just check. Because I saw it and I was like, I might as well just play or press play. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. It's loading? Oops, sorry. Well, it was already done. The Sonys, man, the Sonys. Hey, that's a human. That's a human. That's far more valuable of a focus than a phone. But yeah, that's essentially what it's talking about. It's just trying to find friends and family whenever you're tracking them, so you can make sure that everybody has a safe route. So if they're trying to use Life 360, why do you want to turn off your location services? Shows a totally wrong route last night. Is there a way to get real GPS history directly from Samsung GPS tracker itself or any other means? Or do you want to know if another program for finding someone? I use Waze, but it's not really like Life 360. It's not really, I use Waze, but it's not really like Life 360. But yeah, let us know. No, let's go with that, because I'm just kind of confused on what he's asking. Because I mean, yeah, it may gave him a wrong route last night, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's an issue with his phone or an issue with Google or his location tracking. It may have just straight up given you the wrong route because there may be construction in the area for all we know. You see what I'm saying? You may be having an issue with the application itself, and you may be blaming Google and your location services and your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. That you're just blaming other stuff, but it may just be straight up because there's construction and that road is closed or something. It gave you an incorrect location. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on a whole lot of different situations. We just want to make sure that you are talking about in the Life 360 app is what you're referring to, because if that's the case, then it's a possibility that it may have just been the app. Okay, well, that's an interesting one. Nobody ever asked us about Life 360 apps, but they asked us about Samsung a lot, which is why we already got the phone. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Okay, TNT Boom. Snowstorm in 2023 custom mod. See full image. Oh my goodness, that is so clean. Oh, that's clean. Oh, that's clean. What is that? Multiple 120? So that's what? 120, 240, 360, maybe 480, or maybe 2 or 3 140s? It looks more like 3 140s. Well, okay, one, I don't think you can actually put any type of fans on this guy. It looks like it's almost just for show, but it's still pretty sweet. It'd be sweet if this was like Braille and it actually spelled something out. That would be so sick. But that is actually really clean. What is this called? Because I want to throw money at the screen, and I just want to make sure somebody catches it. Recessed USB port are the devil. Too many drives, dongles, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care. How does he know if it's recessed? I only see one picture. What is he talking about? What's it called? Snowstorm in 2023. I used to have this complaint too, blah, blah, blah. 0.5 millimeter deep just to create a shape, hopefully not big effect. Motherboard can shift left and right depending on CPU cooler, so I remove vent holes. To be honest, the whole pattern in the render looks far better than the prototype. Other than that, the case looks good. What prototype? What are we missing? Oh, it's page 1 of 17. That's what we're missing. Okay, page 2. Okay, this is it me that's doing this? No, it's not. It's just, okay. Okay. All right. Page 3 of 17. Okay, here we go. Page 4 of 7. Oh, okay. So he has, it looks like it can fit 2 140 millimeter fans, and just from the width, it looks like 240 millimeter fans. He has several. Okay, so one, this is a rendering, but it looks like it'll be pretty good. I don't know why you would want to have an SSD there. It's just, okay, one, it doesn't really restrict airflow, but it's kind of a weird thing because you'll have cables hanging out of it. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the best idea in the world. It'll be better off just putting it right underneath that fan. But I mean, it's still pretty sweet. I just like how pretty it is. I like the back. That's interesting because not everybody's going to have HDMI and display ports in the back there, and none of them are going to be like this. Ever. They'll never be like that. Even back in the day, it would be like display port at the top and then like 4 HDMI or 1 HDMI and like 2 displays or something along those lines. The reason is HDMI, for every HDMI port, at least back in the day when I was a kid, every HDMI port, they charge you for it. So that's why you only saw 1 on graphics cards. What else? What else you got, sir? Okay, 17. Let's see this one. That is not a good design. The only reason why I say that is because the graphics card, this graphics card here is trying to pull air from nothing. You know, it'll now, of course, if you change these fans to blow into the actual case, then it will actually have some cooling. So, you know, there is that, but it'll probably still be kind of suffocated. So I don't really know about Founders Edition type cards. On top of that, what are these going into if the Founders Edition card is right here? You know, unless you're having some right angles going into that, that's still not ideal because that's a point of failure. So if there is a right angle that goes out here so that it can come out, that's going to be a point of failure. So if this guy in here dies and because of that your picture is not showing, you know, you would have to open your case every time you want to troubleshoot that instead of just unplugging the cable. So I'm not crazy about that part, but I mean, I'm being a very harsh critic. This thing is gorgeous. Let's just start with that. Like, it's like you can work with most things if it's pretty enough. Oh my God, did I just close the tab? I just closed the tab. Okay, well, we were almost done anyway. We were on like page 15. But still, I mean, this is one heck of a build. I really hope it actually turns. Oh, actually, I think he actually tried to create a prototype. Now I have to know. Let me see if I can get back to him. This was SFF PC. We didn't get a chance to see the prototype picture. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. This is why I always leave a tab open just in case. All right. Oh, he built it. No. Yeah, I don't like that either. That's not a good idea because depending on the actual USB-C cable that you're using, it may not be able to actually fit in this hole. This is the exact same thing as the Razer Death Adder V2 Pro. This guy here. Check this out. You see that recessed micro USB that makes it almost impossible for any micro USB to go in that port? Yeah, that annoys the crap out of me, and it's very similar to what he has going on right here because some of those USB-C cables may not be able to fit because of the way it's recessed. So yeah, I don't like that. Don't do that ever on a build ever. I also don't like how the screws are set up, but it's so pretty, I'd be okay with it. I mean, it is a nice case. I mean, it is very, very pretty. Oh, he even has a Corsair 1. The Corsair 1 is a nice build too, but they got to understand, this is a $3,000 already pre-built case. So for him to actually have that, that's, I mean, dude's doing well. Let's put it that way. For him to have that plus this, I'm guessing he probably maybe took out some of his components and moved it in here. But still, the Corsair 1, oh yeah, you can even see the dust around here. So he's definitely been using it. This has been his main rig. I like it. It's nice. It's bulky. So that means it can actually hold 140 millimeter, 280 millimeter radiators, 140 millimeter fans, and it may even be able to hold, well, maybe not, maybe a 4080 or a 4090, possibly, but I don't know. Oh, okay. So no, it looks like it's having some problems with certain GPUs, it appears. And on top of that, the way the breakout cable looks is not ideal. So you would have to have some type of a right angle so that you can still have your AIO going through it, unless you want to bend that, which isn't exactly ideal. So, On top of that, where are your plugs at? So it appears that he has cables that are running into the back that are actually supplying the HDMI inputs. I'm guessing they're supposed to be going underneath. Like, I don't know exactly how he's going to be doing that because there's no place to actually plug in the HDMI and display cables. And these are too long to actually go underneath the graphics card. So, I mean, it's beautiful, but it'll be a gigantic, beautiful pain in the butt. Okay, so he did do the hard drive configuration. That's meh. But I guess he's just kind of looking at it to see what his options are here. Overall, though, I think it has potential. Yeah, okay. So he still has to figure out the whole graphics card situation, but it most definitely has potential. This most definitely has potential. I tried throwing money at the screen, but you didn't pick it up. Why? Why? There we go. So hopefully it actually comes to market. I think you can actually do a little bit here with this. I mean, it's nice. It reminds me of the peripherals of the what is it? Ionix ZV1 or something like that. Ionix ZV1 image computer case. I don't know how to spell it. ZV1. Well, it's not here, but I'm not worried about it. Whatever. It's similar to I'm not worried about it. It's very similar to something like this, but it is it's flush. Like it's like straight up flush. It looks exactly like his case here. Oh, here, we'll just do this. The Velka 5. Yeah, it looks like that. You see how the Velka looks? So it's very, very similar to that, except that it's like all one sheet of metal. But still, pretty dope build, bro. Congratulations. Just let me know when it comes to a theater near me. Okay, did we already work him? Oh, that's right. We had to go all the way here because we lost the tab. That's what it was. Okay, so we got 3 more left, and then we'll end it for tonight. This is from Highlight Facts. Highlight Facts. Okay, let's do it. I'm looking for an HDMI to display. Oh my God, is that? Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, was that rubber wiggle on the camera just from me doing this? It shouldn't have been. I have it running at 60 FPS for a reason. I'm looking for an HDMI to DisplayPort adapter for my Xbox Series X. He has a Gigabyte G27QC. That's 165 hertz panel, 2K. And I got a new monitor. What is this for? Okay, well, I don't know if I want to click on these things. Okay, so he's just showing the display. I don't. Sometimes they be trying to lead you astray. They be like, "I'm sorry, we try to make a family-friendly show here." It has a little bit of curve here with a $1,500 curve, but I mean, still nice monitor. All right, so why are you telling us this? I got a new monitor, but I can't get HDR to work over HDMI. Why would what? My monitor also has G-Sync compatibility that isn't being utilized because it's only viable for the DisplayPort. Right. Otherwise, my monitor works great as I'm getting 1440 and 120 hertz. Right, because that's the maximum that you can get at. Well, okay, it's not necessarily the maximum. It's just that it's very hard to get something that's over that, and only on the HDMI, especially at that particular HDMI version. So any specific recommendation for an adapter to convert HDMI to display so I can utilize my monitor to the fullest? Why? Why do you want HDMI? Let's go with that. You have a DisplayPort 1.2 and HDMI 2.0. Why can't you just use a DisplayPort? I don't understand. Oh, is the Xbox. I'm tripping. I'm tripping hard. I'm tripping hard. It's the Xbox. Come on, Anthony. You're not that sleepy. Okay, Xbox. Where's it at? So the Xbox only has the HDMI port on the back. Duh. So when we go to the Xbox, okay, cool. It's still up. So let's see here. He says he wants to do an HDMI to display. I don't know about that one, man. I don't know if it'll make much of a difference. So, because I don't know of an HDMI to display cable that keeps the HDR features. Does that make sense? Because I don't know if it can make that kind of a translation. Now, you can definitely still get the same resolution, and you can probably still get 120 hertz, but I'm not sure if it's going to give you everything else. So if we go, okay, we were already in the settings and then the TV and display options. So it has the 4K, it has the 1440p, and then, I'm sorry. And then it has your refresh rate options at 60 and 120. So it's not going to go past the 144, or I'm sorry, it's not going to go past the 165. Even though it has a 165 hertz monitor, you can only get 120 on the Xbox Series X. So, okay, well here, we'll just do it this way. Because we don't want to lead them astray and have them buy something that may not work. I don't know if there exists a display to HDMI cable that also supports HDR. So if we say HDMI to display cable supports HDR. So it has to be, his HDMI is 2.0 and his display port is 1.4. So we just have to make sure that the cables are going to be something similar. So HDMI to display, let's see, HDMI to display. Okay, so HDMI to display, active display to HDMI, HDR, 4K at 60, 2K at 144, 1080p at 144, 8 feet, unidirectional display to HDMI cable, display port 1.4 to HDMI. That may work, but that probably won't because it's DisplayPort 1.4, but his television can handle television. Oh wow. His monitor can handle DisplayPort 2.0. Oh, no, sorry. It was HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.4, right? I may have actually said that wrong. Let me... Where did we look that up at? I feel like we looked it up... oh, no. It'll be right next to his ticket. So... Okay, maybe it was actually on the same tab as this. Yeah, it was here. So it was DisplayPort 1.2, and then it was HDMI 2.0. Right. HDMI 2.0. I feel like it was. Yeah, HDMI 2.0. Hey, got a new follower. Thanks, Own. I appreciate it, bro. So HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.2. Okay. I promise we won't go back again. Okay, so I think that cable would actually work in this situation. Because it's DisplayPort 1.4, he only goes to 1.2, and then obviously his HDMI is 2.0, but 2.0 is the standard. So this should actually work for him. So let's give him this link here. And it has to be the full link, otherwise they won't allow you to actually link him this. So I can't change it. I just have to give him the full link. So with this one here, so this one here, okay. I think I can go affiliate full link, but if I do that, okay, no, forget this. If he don't get it, he don't get it, but he's getting my affiliate link. You gonna get this affiliate link, sir. As much work as we put into this, you getting this affiliate link. Give me 1 second. Let me create the link real quick. Oh, you gonna get this link. You gonna learn today, sir. You gonna learn today. I just can't do an abbreviated link. It has to be the full size of the link. Oh God, I'm not signed in. I'm not signed in. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, I'm not about to do all this. This is too much work. Okay, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. I'll just give him the regular link. I'll live. So this one here, why didn't it do that? It's supposed to switch to a hyperlink. Why didn't it switch to a hyperlink? Enter again. There we go. So this one here supports display port 1.4, which should work with your setup, as your monitor supports display port 1.2. He owes me an affiliate callback on this one, as much work as we put in. So this one here, so this one here supports DisplayPort 1.2, which should work with your setup, as your monitor supports DisplayPort 1.2 and HDMI 2.0, which is the standard. Let us know if it doesn't work. Let us know if it doesn't work. The only reason why we want to know that is because, one, we need a W because we have egos, but two, is so that if anybody else has that issue, we can go ahead and save that link so we can give to somebody else in case, you know, there's several monitors that are like that. The this one over here, this I don't know what it's called anymore, but this 27-inch here, it only has DisplayPort and HDMI, but the HDMI doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't allow HDMI to be worked at any resolution, but in order to get the 165 hertz, you have to use the display. So I get his frustration. The HDMI port is kind of a pain whenever you have some of these older monitors that only support DisplayPort as far as the 165 hertz, and the HDMI can only go to like 120. So yeah, is what it is, but yeah, hopefully this cable will get them going. All right, we can go ahead and close that out. And here is, this is from Juhu, SFFPC 2.0, improved my GPU desk shroud, cooler design for silence. $12 for the 3 Zotac fans, whisper quiet, RTX 2080 Ti, Silver Soul 110. What the hell is that? Okay, so one, that is the is it? No, this is the Revolt 3. I have this case. I have it in black. But this Revolt is sweet because this Revolt, if I have some more Dremels or if I have like a saw or something, it may actually be able to fit the 4090. So that's why I love this case. It's really good. I like it a lot. Oh, okay. So he removed his shroud and then put 3 fans on it. I get it, bro. That height is really nice. The height Revolt, sometimes it can't force you that way. I am more of the mindset of just removing the there's a header right over here where my cursor is. I kind of just want to remove this guy here, this like little metal piece right here, and then it'll just slide right in. But we'll see. That's just my perspective on it. But still, I mean, it's a nice build, bro. This last page, that's the last page. So the only thing that I really don't like about it is, well, okay, it's okay because there's nothing really in the back that you need to worry about, because the graphics card is actually getting air from over here. Your CPU is actually getting air from over here or through the front, depending on if it has an AIO. So this actually works out really well. Plus, it's neat as hell. He has the white PS5, the white frame on the Xbox, and then the white chassis. That's clean. That is so clean. That is a clean setup with the white controllers and the, that's so clean. And those D-brand mods, look, that's clean. That is clean. If somebody touches it, I'd punch them in the face. I'd be like, look, this is not for playing video games. This is for show only, sir. That is clean. Yeah, the Revolt 3 is standing like a boss with his 2 bodyguards. This is the cleanest setup ever. If someone touched that, I would punch them in the face. LOL. Yeah, that right there, those are fighting stuff. Like if somebody kicked that over or touched it or moved something, I'd be ready to fight. That is too clean of a build. That's really nice, man. Congratulations. That is, oh Lord, I may need to take that picture. Hold on, let me save this picture. Save image as. This isn't exactly ideal because it's just gonna be a web thing, and if he closes his image, I won't get that back. Okay, you're not gonna let me have that. Copy image. Let's do it that way. Paint. I'm just making sure I have it, and then we can get back to the last person. Okay, there we go. Because that's too clean of a build for me not to not to try to do something similar with the PlayStations and the Xboxes and all the crap we got. So this is from Familiar Bed 5039, and it's our last ticket. Yay! Changing the GPU. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought somebody was asking me a question. Changing the GPU and external display is using on a laptop. Changing the GPU and external display is using on a laptop. Okay. I have a Dell Inspiron 3543. When I connect to an external display, the iGPU is used instead of the dedicated one. I'll link pictures. I was wondering if you could change the GPU used, or is it okay to use it like this? Yeah, you can. You can. You can change it, but for display 2, there's an option, but it's not present. That's not the only option. Oh God. It's an option, but it's only present on laptops that have dual GPUs. And it's going to be, oh God, it's been a while since I did that Razer Blade review. That was like, what, 6 months ago? Okay, let's go Windows 11. We can maybe figure this out. Windows 11, and then display settings. And then display settings, and then graphics. And then change default graphics settings. Okay, it's display settings and then graphics. And then somewhere in here, oh God, where was it? It's somewhere in here. So we'll just go with that. So it will be display settings, if I can change it. What's this one? Oh, that was the PhysX. Yeah. So the answer is question. Yes, you can swap between them, but I currently don't have a dual. I'm trying to think if the laptop that I was thinking about has a dual GPU. No, it doesn't. I currently don't have a dual GPU to test this on, as they are all different. And I mean that. I 100% mean that. This changes depending on if it's a laptop with an eGPU or a laptop and a GPU where the CPU and the GPU both have a GPU processor, or if it's an Intel versus a NVIDIA GPU, or if it's an AMD with an Intel GPU. Like, it's so many different options, or AMD GPU. There's so many different options, and it can change exactly what you see in the display settings. But I know the Blade had it. So we'll go as if he had something similar. Yes, you can swap between, but I currently don't have the dual GPU to test this on, as they are all different. But it is somewhere in system display graphics properties. What was it? It was I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. It was change default graphics settings. System display. Change. Oh, I can't even spell today. Change default graphics settings. Here, somewhere around here, you should have an option to choose the GPU to use. The only reason why I know this is because during the Razer Blade testing that I did, I was trying Overwatch and I was switching it there in order to change it from using the integrated CPU GPU and then using the actual GPU. So we were making some changes because we had like 2 different options to choose from, and you can swap between them in the settings of the system display. It's not just only in NVIDIA location, in the NVIDIA control panel. It's actually there too. But it really just depends on the system. Change default graphics settings. Somewhere around here, you should have an option to choose the GPU to use. And yeah, we'll say it like this, and let's see what he says, and then just kind of go from there, have him reply back. Oh, start following. Yay! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I would say for this one. It's kind of hard for me to remember off of that one because I only did it that one time in order to troubleshoot that whole. It wasn't really troubleshooting, but I was trying to compare an eGPU to a laptop GPU, and so that's where you saw that option at. But it changes depending on what kind of device you have. So yeah, that's what we'll say for that one. We'll see what they say tomorrow, and we will just leave it at that. And it's 9:32. We totally did that perfectly right. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching here. We will be back on tomorrow. And if you like this video, go to the like button. If you really like it, I'm going to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best. And bye. I will see you tomorrow.